Are we ready?
We're ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode. I should have done that.
You're good. You're
Clapping.
good. You're good.
Clapping. Let's start again.
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another
Welcome.
episode of the Grimaldo Group. And with me, as usual, Juan Grimaldo himself. How are you, Juanito?
Great, sir. How about you? You look all dressed up really nice. What's going
Hey,
on?
so I guess we're going to some event. There's a special event that's taking place. What is it?
It's the award ceremony for. It's called the President's Roundtable.
The President's Roundtable. And you are going to be in attendance, correct?
We are going to be in attendance. We're going to be recognized as a top producing team. So we're excited and we're grateful for all of our clients, friends, family that refer us to. When it comes to buying or selling real estate, thank you so much. This is all you guys. Thank you.
We certainly appreciate it. We love helping families create wealth through home ownership, helping folks invest in real estate. We've recently been getting more involved with commercial properties, correct?
Yes, sir. We're learning more and more as we go, and we're grateful for that. I mean, people are reaching out. They're doing better in life, and you know, as time progresses, they reach out to us. They still trust us for that. So we're excited and nervous, but excited. You know, it's part of it. If we're not uncomfortable, we're not growing, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's always a never-ending learning experience. There's so much to learn within real estate. It's just it never stops.
It never ends. Yeah. So there's so many opportunities. And today, Angel, I want to take a little turn.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to go into real estate. I wanted to just ask about your service, because I know you were in the military. You were also part of Border Patrol, and also the last job you had was as a spatial agent for the government, right?
Yes. Yes, as you mentioned, I was in the Navy. So I did 4 years active duty. I remained in
Thank
the
you for service.
reserves. You're welcome. And I served back in late 80s.
A few years ago.
A few years ago. And then I got out and took the GI Bill, went to college. I was going to be a school teacher, surprisingly.
Wow. A school teacher.
A school teacher, yeah. Elementary school teacher.
Why was that? What prompted you to be a...
I like youth. I like creating an impact into our future, so to speak.
Right.
I had a few good teachers myself. I had some bad teachers.
Right.
And I said, I certainly don't want to be like that guy or her. And that's the route I had to initiate. And then there was
what changed? Yes.
I was also interested in law enforcement. I remember when I lived up in Jersey as a kid, I really looked up to police officers, especially New Jersey State Police, the way they dressed, the way they carried themselves, and so on. And I kind of wanted to move in that direction.
Okay.
So there was military and law enforcement in my mind. And when I had the opportunity, instead of going full-time as a teacher, I ended up applying for Border Patrol.
Wow.
Well, I had tried New Jersey State Police, New York State Police, and it was just difficult. It's very difficult to get into these departments.
Wow.
You have to kind of, like they say in Spanish, have a padrino, a godfather.
Wow. Really? Is it that?
Yeah. And at the time, it was just the job freeze and so on.
Okay.
So I ended up applying for Border Patrol, which is federal. And at the time, it was part of the U.S. Department of Justice. And surprisingly, I was accepted. It took almost 2 years of process from the time that I applied and then take the test and so on. About almost 2 years before I was able to go to the academy, which is another 5 months. And then you graduate and you go to your station, which in my case was San Diego. I was blessed with going to San Diego.
Very cool. So what happened in between those 2 years where you were waiting to go to Border Patrol?
I was still going to school and I was working all kinds of jobs. I did everything. I mean, I worked at gyms, I worked at delicatessens, I worked at hotels.
Was this when you worked at the Chicken and Pizza Palace?
No, actually, when I worked at Chicken and Pizza Palace, I was 15 years old. This was before I had left. I was still in high school and stuff. That place is no longer around, but it was in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, of Chicken and Pizza Palace.
He talks a lot about that job. That's why I mentioned it.
I mean, it was an interesting time. I think I actually started there at 14.
Nice.
I was frying chicken and doing burgers and pizzas and so on. So maybe that's why, because food is one of my many weaknesses.
One of our weaknesses. Awesome. So then you joined the Border Patrol, and how was that? Was that Did you enjoy that?
I did. It was an exciting time. This was during the Clinton administration. He took it upon, that administration was really creating a big force, if you will, and the infrastructure, implementing all kinds of gadgets to, secure the border. That was back during the Clinton administration. So I owe my gratitude to President Clinton, because it was through his efforts that I was able to get hired. They had a mass hiring at the time.
So unlike the police department, they actually were looking to hire a lot of people.
Correct. During that time, there was a whole different approach on the matter from that administration, where they was just increased the security and focused primarily in San Diego, because 25% of most illegal crossings were happening through that region.
San Diego.
Correct. San Diego. And so that was the whole purpose of Operation Gatekeeper is what it was called. But in that effort, I was hired.
That's awesome. So then you went and became Border Patrol for how many years?
I was 12 and a half years. I served in the Border Patrol. I served in different capacities, from a regular rookie field agent, and then I was a training coordinator. I worked as the post-academy instructor. I was an academy instructor at the national level. And it was a great time. I made it to supervisor, and then I left.
So that teaching, it was always in your heart. I mean, you became an instructor. You wanted to be a school teacher, but then you're teaching at the...
It was a different, because it's paramilitary.
Right.
It's not,
a little tighter, no? More rigid.
Correct.
And then you went from there to special agent.
Yes, and then I decided I had, as a Border Patrol agent, worked with Homeland Security Investigations. It's the investigative branch of the Homeland Security, the Department of Homeland Security. And then when I worked as a Border Patrol agent, I was a task force officer is what it's called. I kind of enjoyed the time there. And then there were some openings, and the agents told me, why don't you apply? And I did, and I got the job.
So you always were hungry to keep growing and
climbing. I believe you should always remain hungry.
Awesome.
And develop yourself, and the sky's the limit.
And you know what? I think you mentioned this before, like this, you were about to become a supervisor or getting a higher position where you were.
I actually did become a supervisor, and I still left. Some folks kind of said to me, why would you leave if you're now a supervisor? I understand that, and I really appreciate the opportunity, but I think my calling is elsewhere. And I did that, and I pursued it. I enjoyed it. It came with some challenges, but nonetheless, it was a good decision.
Was it worth it?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
I learned a lot. I got to travel. I was in Latin America, Central America. I specialized in, I was a narcotics agent. So I worked with multiple agents from different agencies, 3-letter agencies.
Kind of like boring, then, right?
Mm-hmm. From cool stuff. DEA to FBI, ATF, and even the 4-letter one, which is NCIS. There's a large military presence, Navy, Marine Corps presence in San Diego. Therefore, you have NCIS.
What is that?
Naval Criminal Investigative Service.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So
I know all this stuff is very serious, but do you have any funny stories about, when you were doing all these jobs?
Well, I mean, there's quite a few. You caught me kind of off guard. I do remember, as being a Border Patrol agent, we were sent down to assist Casa Grande Border Patrol agents because they were being overwhelmed.
Oh, wow. So
if you recall, I mentioned that in the mid-'90s, they created Operation Gatekeeper to kind of increase the amount of agents in San Diego. And that created the flow of traffic, if you will, human trafficking crossings over to Arizona. I'm out there driving this van out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm looking at the fact that there's a bunch of, what are the big birds that when there's
vultures?
Dead cow, vultures, huge vultures.
Wow.
I'm driving this van, this Border Patrol van, and I'm glancing at the fact that there's a bunch of vultures flying over this dead cow, and some are landing on it and stuff. And when I looked forward, there's this big vulture. It looked like a 747.
No, they're huge, yeah.
Coming right to the van. I'm not going to brake. I'm not going to stop. So we collided.
No way. The guy attacked you, huh?
Yeah, well, he collided not in the windshield, thankfully. He collided towards the headlights and so on, the grill. So I figured I didn't see the bird in the rearview mirror. I says, this bird vanished. I don't know where it went. So I kept driving. Okay. Now I'm in a remote area. All right. I finally stopped because I had to use the bathroom. You know, you're out in the wilderness. All right. So
Everything's a bathroom.
so as I get out to go, you know, pee, I see this in front of my grill. The bird is in the grill
Interesting.
and the blood gushing out and stuff.
Oh, my
and it's
gosh.
covering the whole front part, the wingspan. Needless to say, I freaked out. I'm a city boy. Okay. So that startled me. I had to call my buddy who's a good old country boy. And I call him on the radio.
What do I do?
I says, well, I didn't tell it over the radio because people are going to make fun of me. Right. So I call him over. Hey, I got a situation. Can you come and meet me at such a mile marker? Because everything is, what mile marker are you from what highway? Because it's not like patrolling in a city.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
And he shows up and he comes out. He's chewing his tobacco, you know, good old country guy. And he says, what do you got? I says, look in front of my van. Look at the grill.
You were so surprised and amazed. What is this guy's going to be wild? When you see
so he looks at it and says, that's a big bird. I says, and he starts yanking the sucker. He just takes it. No gloves, no nothing. And, you know, the bird is like, and he takes that and it was heavy and he throws it outside. Well, I think you ruined the grill.
That was it.
That was it. So, I mean, you're going to have all kinds of stuff happening out there. You're going to have be tough skin in law enforcement because if not, you're just not going to make it.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Today, we're just wanted to talk a little bit and highlight Angel. I mean, he's got a lot of cool stories, and we'll bring up some more. He's got tons of them. So
I don't know. They just come sporadically. It depends, you know, who you're with and what conversations you're having. But I am happy to be a real estate agent. I think this is the calling that I'm fulfilling right now.
So you went from a border patrol agent to a special agent to a real estate agent now.
Yes, but I still think that I'm special to my wife. I mean,
100%.
So special husband.
Amen. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Angel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Take care.
God bless.
God bless you. Bye-bye.